Hello guys, there is fire in Aso Villa. The moment President Tinubu's wife, Remi Tinubu, stood against her husband concerning this new presidential jet that was bought with 150 billion naira by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his cabinet, she said, no, I don't like this. This government shouldn't have gone this far. Nigerians are suffering at this time, and the government of the day is buying jets worth, this kind of money. Before now, Nigerians don't like her. They thought that she's in support of what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. But with what she did today, Nigerians were shocked. Wow. So this woman is really speaking out our mind. This woman, he's really telling the truth to the authorities. This one don't start. That was how the former president's wife, Muhammad Buhari. Hey, now so she started. Last, waiting happened. They silent her. The next thing we hear say, they Nigeria again. She don't work out go Dubai. So anything when they do, now that one consign on her. I don't talk tire. So it's not left for Nigerians to use their sense. You understand? That is just the landmark she kept. I don't talk. Nana sabi. Una supposed to use una sense. No waiting at the talk. Now here I go talk rich, but I just have to be alive for my children and for myself. Now this woman don't come again. You understand? He said the extravagant spending at this time by this president, by this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu government is too much. That is not what Nigerians are after for now. And she also speak about revolution. She said, if time is not taken, this is going to happen because there is a limit to push people to the wall. A day will come, Nigerians will react, and don't blame them for reacting. She said it. Don't blame Nigerians for reacting because people will have to stand and demand what belongs to them. There is a limit you can go. These are human beings, and they know that you have a limit as a government personnel or whatever. So there is a limit you can go for. You can go against anybody. And with the way Nigeria is going right now, only God know when this thing go burst, because it go burst. That one not now for sure. Even they themselves, they understand that they themselves are sitting, on a hot chair right now. Everywhere is boiling. Nigerians are suffering. People can no longer eat 3 square meals in a day. This is the country. This is a country where you can no longer buy anything in the market. But they claim that they feel our pains and all that. Let me just leave you guys so that you can watch this video by yourself. Please, kindly share your thoughts. Share this video, let it go viral. Subscribe to our channel if this is your first time of coming here. Thank you, and God bless.
Nigeria is currently in a state of emergency. Our country has been reduced to a surrender situation, and we cannot continue like this. And this is the reason why we all have come out today. We've shown our displeasure to let the Nigerian government understand that there's a need for us to have sincere change. If you have a government who has its neck well screwed on its shoulder, if you have a government that is serious about the welfare of the people, by now the service chiefs would have been removed. By now, a lot of things would have been overhauled in this country. Today we are concerned that a lot of our young people go to tertiary institutions, they graduate and join colony of unemployed because there's no job for them. You see a lot of people, there's a lot of criminality all over the place. This is because we have irresponsible leaders in position of authority.
Aminu Kano predicted the uprising of the Talakawas. Tunji Braithwaite predicted it. Remember the one of the cockroaches and rats? Fela Anikulapo predicted it. Gani Faweyemi predicted it. Every person who had made it their business to examine Nigeria, to look at its conditions, the unsustainability of the choices that we have made, I've had occasion to predict a Nigerian revolution. My brother Yele speaks of it frequently. A lot of people speak to the revolution on multiple fronts. Almost all socialist thinkers in Nigeria have had occasion to speak to the coming revolution. So everybody speaks about a Nigerian revolution. They speak of it as an inevitable outcome of our many trajectories and contradictions. In the case of Nigeria, where the putrefaction is not just governmental, it is the entire society itself that has become decadent, visionless, and devoid of purpose. A revolution in the classic sense, which is the overthrow of the reigning class, would not work. There has to be a revolution of the Nigerian mind. We, as a collective, would have to consciously decide that we can be better and we want to be better. So the Nigerian revolution is not inevitable. What is inevitable is the coming storm. And that coming storm is what I want us to speak to. If you're looking to the Nigerian situation to predict the coming storm, you must necessarily look to the rainmakers. You look to the churches and mosques, the Oro groves now. You look to religion first. You look to the purpose and the result. What has religion achieved in the Nigerian space? Stupefaction. So the Nigerian is not really given to too much thoughts any longer. He is largely dependent on the reflexes that he has inherited from his religious indoctrination. So instead of looking to use his God-given brain to resolve the problems, he is given to his religious reflexes in order to react instead of to respond. So when you have a situation where these perfect rainmakers are in the Nigerian space, the only thing you guarantee because of all these inequities is a storm, not a revolution. That our young lady from the south, preparing to cross the Sahara, she already knew she'll be raped. So she bought condoms. She prepared for the journey. Rape was an acceptable risk. So to minimize that risk, she bought condoms, which she will ask her rapist to please use. Eventually, maybe a few out of 10, maybe out of 10 young men and women who will trek across the Sahara, cross the Mediterranean, let's say about 6 or 7 out of 10 would eventually make a harrowing months in detention camps, immigration camps. Eventually, they make it to mainland Europe. Go to the internet. You see multiple videos. I saw one made by CNN, actually. Young Nigerian girls in Parc des Princes in Paris being paid €5 to trade their flesh out in the park. They escaped. That is their own reaction. Responses. Multiple people have different stories to tell, but they saw the coming storm, or the rain started earlier in their neighborhood. But what are the ruiners themselves doing? Almost without exception, everybody responsible for the ruination of Nigeria has a second passport. They have second residences. I know Obas, including the idiot who was trying to murder me. He carries foreign passports. They all carry foreign passports. They have foreign residences. They've given up on Nigeria. They are busy telling the Yorubas to hate Igbo, Hausa to hate Fulani, Fulani to hate Igbo. At the end of the day, they themselves are none of those things. Those things do not separate them. they have their neighbors. In Knightsbridge, on the Potomac, in Dubai, they buy houses in Mecca, but their heart is far away from Allah. They buy homes everywhere. Nigeria is not their home. They are responding, planning ahead for the storm that they know would necessarily come because of the actions and inactions. They've damaged the army beyond, probably beyond redemption. Every institution of state compromised. They know that this is not sustainable, but they are planning for the day after the storm. They want you to react violently. Violence works for them. They want you to act independent of each other, discordantly, pursuing different things when your afflictions are actually the same. The ruiners have gamed that their interests are best assured by your embrace of violence, so that the system is gridlocked, and then they redefine this space in a manner that assures that they escape justice. Have you heard anybody talking about consequences for those who looted the subsidy regime? Have you heard anyone talking about charging Adisirika for the national embarrassment that was here in Nigeria? Have you heard anyone talk about it? How many times have you heard of Malami swallowing billions and billions? Who has charged him with anything? Trillions were printed during Buhari's regime. The only person being chased around is Emefiele. Trillions are still being squandered today, as if there is no tomorrow, as if tomorrow does not even matter. You're talking about a country with the perfect storm brewing. Over 20 million children. We're talking about the children that are not in school that should be in school. What about those who are not of school age any longer, much older? They're already in their late teenage years. They're already in their 20s. No training of any sort. No capacity for productivity of any sort. And yet, we've not declared a national emergency to prepare for the coming storm. These started where NSAS progressed to. NSAS progressed to end bad governance, end impunity. And that was where the last protest began. It began with end bad governance. It distilled issues. If you harmonize the lists, you probably have about 12 issues. Not a single one of those issues have been addressed. The first thing that the Nigerian state did in reaction was to bring some stupid bill that presumed to curtail the rights of Nigerians to be human. Stupidity and hubris of the highest order. There is a coming deluge. Let me say it again. There is a coming deluge. Ignore it at your peril. Address these issues. Address them urgently. Them, meaning the ruiners. They belong to no tribe. Fela said it rightly. They are beasts of no nation. They know nothing about God, Those who know of God will not leave you to be starving when they are spending billions, 90 billions to subsidize Hajj. You come, how many people will go to Hajj? How many would have benefited from all of that? Where did they find that in their own Quran? And as they are wasting money on you going to Hajj, they are doing the same with the Christians who are